This is a step-by-step blueprint on how to make money with an AI automation agency. My name's Yash, and I've been running an AI automation agency called Pluto AI for about 1.5 years now, and we generate over $20,000 per month selling AI automations. So let's get right into this blueprint of how you can start to make money and get all the financial freedom you want with AI and automation. So the first step is to actually go and get clients. That is probably one of the most important things. Without clients, you're obviously not going to be selling any automations, and you wouldn't even have any chance of doing the fun part of building the automation. So how do you actually go and get clients? That is probably the first half of the most important part of this blueprint. And then of course, the second half will be actually delivering the automations and making the automations. So let's get first into the sales part. What I would highly recommend is using social media as your funnel. Inbound leads are, first of all, a lot nicer and a lot more warmer than outbound leads. So if you're sending cold emails, text messages, etc., the leads are probably more skeptical because you've just come out of the blue saying, hey, I sell AI automations, buy it off me. Whereas if someone's seen you in a video like me, they already know you kind of through the screen. Therefore, they have another level of trust. The only problem people always say with inbound and social media is it takes time. It takes so long to build, your own TikTok, your own channels, and to build a reputation. And in my opinion, this is not true. It is long to build a social presence on YouTube or perhaps on LinkedIn, but there is one channel where it's super quick, and that is TikTok. TikTok is by and large the fastest way to grow a personal brand. So what you want to do is post short videos on TikToks about AI and automation tips. Attract business owners curious about automation. Talk about all the benefits that automation can provide to business owners. Talk about, scraping, talk about invoice management, talk about project management. There's like a million things you can talk about on TikTok that will attract business owners. And there are business owners on TikTok. So that's number one. Number two is build authority with content. Share case studies, client wins, automation demos. Educate people on how AI saves time and money, and position yourself as a go-to automation expert. Position yourself as a guy or a lady who knows everything about automation. And you can do this by creating content that's actually engaging, creating content that actually gets views but targets the right people. Sometimes you don't need a bunch of views, especially on TikTok, to generate interest for your products and services. Once you've done that, you need to convert followers into clients. You need to add clear call to actions. Normally DM me, book a call, and also like free AI automation audits. Funnel prospects into a discovery call and a strategy session, and you close deals with contracts and payment. That's normally the best method to get clients, is to start a social media channel. I highly recommend TikTok because it's so fast at growing. And normally when you start an agency, you kind of want to start getting your first client as soon as possible. So that's why I highly recommend TikTok as the ultimate way to go and get the clients. You post 5 to 10 videos every single day and you will gain traction on TikTok. Then once you've actually gone and got people to, you've got loads of traction on your page, you're getting a lot of people DMing you, then of course you need to try and figure out how to convert them into clients. And that's normally on these discovery and strategy calls. A discovery call is normally to understand this client, understand what their business is, perhaps understand what they want to automate, understand why they want to automate it, understand how much cost it's going to save, whether they're a viable client to even automate things for in the first place. For example, if it's going to save them $20 every single month, you might not want to spend all that time building an automation for $20, right? It's not really worth your time. So in that way, it's number one, to qualify clients, and number two, to understand what their pain points are, what their processes are, and also it allows you to talk to them, right? And when you talk to people, just like I'm talking to you right now, we're currently building trust between each other. The viewer, you and me, are currently building trust because I'm giving you value, and you trust me more because I'm not just some random guy on the street. I'm now someone you're watching on YouTube or on any other social media platform. You want to build trust and show that you get their business. Once you've done the discovery call, you will have an idea of what they want to automate. You will understand their business more, but you need to come up with a concrete plan. And when you're starting out an AI automation agency, you're not going to have all the knowledge in your head like I do right now to come up with a concrete plan, bang on that call. Normally, I have like an idea of what I'm going to do next, and I can suggest this to the client, and if they're happy with it, they'll go ahead. But normally on the first call, when you're new, you're not going to know exactly all the tools available and how to solve the problem that they're coming to you with. That's all we're doing, right? We're just solving problems. So that's when you need to maybe give 2 days and then book a strategy call and a proposal. So you present a clear automation opportunities with return on investment, you outline the tools you're going to use and the solution you're going to bring. Walk them into the next step of contract and payment. So you say, hey, you want to generate all your social media posts automatically. You can do that. Sure, we will use X and Y tool. This is how much it's going to cost you. This is how much I'm going to charge you. This is how we're going to do it. And this is the result you're going to get. Essentially, the system is going to be like you just press one button and all your social media posts are done, for example. And if they're happy with everything you've said, then they're going to go ahead with it and if it's going to save them enough money. So normally you walk into the next level contract and payment. Now, I'm not going to say every single discovery call and every single strategy call, every 2-step call you're going to do is going to end in a sale. No way. But in my opinion, and from what I've tested, this is the best way to go and get clients to trust you and to actually to go and buy your automation services. That is the discovery call and strategy call phases, and that's the sales phase, right? Then the second step we need to do is actually go and fulfill these products. You actually need to do the projects, you need to build the automations and keep your clients happy. This is probably, I'd say the sales part is about 30% important. Fulfilling projects and making sure your client is super happy once you have them is 70% important. The reason for this is getting new clients all the time is a pain. Keeping the ones you existingly have is much easier and much more cost effective and time efficient, right? So that's why fulfilling projects to a high level means you're going to land way more projects because clients are going to keep coming back to you. Therefore, you learn the right tools. That's step number 1 in fulfilling projects. I would highly recommend Make.com and NA10. I don't use Zapier very much at all. So Make.com and NA10 are probably the most valuable ones. Learn API basics and automation logic. You need to figure out building automations. Build them out for your own business, right? For example, if you're starting TikTok videos, what do you need? You need ideas to create the videos on, right? So you're normally going to go through other people's TikToks, see what ideas you can make, and then have it. Instead of doing that, build an automation that does it for you. That way you get practice in building an automation. You understand how these automation tools work. You understand how AI works, and you understand how APIs work. But you're also getting something valuable out of it because you're getting an automation that's going to help you save time. It'll probably help you when you get more busier in the future. Beginner skills can deliver value fast, and you can always hire. That's point number 7. You can always hire if you don't build. So for example, if there's a really complex build and you might need some help with it or you don't fully understand exactly what to do, you can hire either an agency like ourselves. You can come and say, message me and say, hey Yash, I don't understand how to build this. I'll bring you the lead, you just pay me a cut. And it works that way. We do that with many different clients and partners who come to us with leads, and then essentially that's how it works. Or the other option is, you can hire a freelancer and they can help you out. Of course, you have to be very careful with freelancers. We don't hire any freelancers personally because we don't see much benefit in their output and work. It can sometimes be a real big hit and miss. So we only hire full-time developers, but we're at a stage where we can do that. I understand some beginners won't want to be paying full-time salaries for people. So be very careful, but you can partner with freelancers or people like us who, always deliver good quality products as an automation specialist. You manage the client, they handle delivery, or you can have them manage the client as well, which is normally better. You focus on sales while fulfillment in the back end runs smoothly. That is another way to do it if you don't exactly know how to build and you get a client super quickly. Then you want to have a delivery workflow. I have made a video on delivery workflow. I've recorded it today. I don't know if it's going to come out after this video or before this video, but it'll probably be either side. You can either wait for it when it comes out, or you can just scroll back and it will be uploaded there. I'm not too sure where it's going to be uploaded, but it'll be literally either side of this video. I go through step by step how to deliver AI automations. It's super valuable. So I'd highly recommend you have a look at that video. But here's like a high level version of that. You onboard clients with a call, you use Trello, Jira, or something else to manage the tasks and for the testing, and then you deliver, iterate, and ask for testimonials. You need to have a solid delivery process because as you scale, you're going to need to make sure that process is standardized, and that's why a delivery process is so valuable. All right, then you need to scale and grow. Rinse and repeat. You upload more TikToks, you get more clients, you make more automations by hiring more freelancers or giving more automations over, you end up making more money, you upsell by selling more automations, selling retainers, and this is when you scale into a full-on agency. Then you look to hire people. You look to grow in that aspect. That is like how you can go from start to finish on creating an AI automation agency that just blows up. and you can get all the financial freedom you need. Like me, I'm currently not in the UK, to say the least. I'm currently traveling, so it allows me to do that. And that's exactly what AI automation businesses allow you to do. They're fully remote and they're amazing. So if you enjoyed this video, it helps so much if you can interact with it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I gave you some value. Again, if you want to see that full onboarding video, then you can click on the video either side of this one. I'm not too sure exactly when I'm going to post it, but it'll be there. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.